But was he wrong, though? This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to my channel. Hit the join button so you can join the Tatum Squad. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. So, I watched this video the other day, and it really impacted me, right? This is an old video. It's probably 2 or 3 days old. But Booger McFarland, Anthony McFarland, if anybody know about NFL football, he was a defensive tackle. Dude was cold-blooded. But he made a comment about African-American athletes. He didn't say all. He didn't say white people were excluded. All he said was he criticized the prioritizing of the business perspective in the NFL by mostly black players. Why did he say black players? Because 70% of the NFL is comprised of black players. He made a statement. He didn't say all. I think anybody with common sense knows that when you make a comment and you mention black people, that does not mean that you're talking about every black person on planet Earth who ever existed, who was in perpetuity. You're just talking about the subject matter at hand. Now, I'm going to play this clip for you guys so you know exactly what he said, and I'm going to go over some comments that were made against him, and I'm going to tell you why there's a tremendous amount of double standards that are going on because people don't want to keep it real when it comes to black folks. They just can't do it. But let me not run my mouth too much. I'm going to play this clip because I want you guys to see exactly what I saw and hear exactly what he said. And then I want to hear from you guys after I finish my commentary. So let's roll the film.
You know, unfortunately, I've seen this too many times. Played in the NFL almost a decade. You played a long time. We've been around it for a long time. And oftentimes young players, especially, and I'm going to go here, especially young African-American players, because they make up 70% of this league. They come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong thing. They come into the league saying not, how can I be a better player? They don't say, how can I be a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? How can I get my organization over the hump? Here's what they come in saying.
But let's stop here. Let's stop here because people get in their feelings and they crying about it. When he say they, he's talking about the black NFL players who are doing the things that he's saying. And y'all gonna see why I'm saying this in a minute. He's not talking about every black person. He's saying, I'm talking about the black players who are associated with the critique that I'm making. I shouldn't have to make that clarification. The man has said it himself, but I thought it'd be valuable to throw that out there.
They come in saying, how can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get to the game, I don't perform? Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, is not the first case that I've seen like this. Yes. And it won't be the last. And
Randy Moss is agreeing with him. Mind you, Randy Moss, Hall of Famer Randy Moss, is agreeing with him.
It bothers me because a lot of it is the young African-American player.
What bothers me is a lot of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I have to say this because y'all gonna see these comments in a minute, and you're gonna see that people cannot hear clearly what the man's saying.
They come in, and they don't take this as a business. It is still a game to them.
They look at it as football.
This ain't football, right, man. This is a billion-dollar business.
Yes.
It's billions of dollars. They pay us a lot of money to talk about the game. So imagine what they pay these guys to play the game.
Yes. Yeah.
They play a child's game and get paid a king's ransom. And it bothers me because I saw a quarterback do it. I saw Jamarcus Russell do it. The #1 pick in the draft, they gave him $40 million and he threw it down the damn drain because he didn't take it seriously. And it bothers me because there are a lot of jobs like this around. I'm going to tell you, I've been retired a while. It's not a lot of jobs like that around where they will pay you millions of dollars for virtually 6 months of performance. So my message to Dwayne Haskins, not just him, but the rest of the young players in the NFL.
Not just him, but the rest of the players in the NFL. Not just the black players, not just Haskins, everybody, the rest of y'all.
Man, this is a game, but take it as a business. There are billions, with a B, of dollars at stake. And until you start approaching this game that way, until you start coming to work saying, you know what can I do to get better today? What can I do to make sure my teammates are better today? How can I put my organization first instead of my damn Instagram? Take it as a serious business, but too many times it's a game. We want a TikTok. We want to do all these different things. Man, do you understand how much money is at stake?
Now we're going to go to the comments, But I cannot help but to reiterate what the man is saying. Like people are just jumping in their feelings. He touched on a lot of great things, and I'm gonna talk about it after I read these comments. So let's go through the comments. Benjamin Watson, everybody know Benjamin Watson, Christian guy, incredible speaker. But this is what he has to say. He go, Bull is a stellar analyst, in his own opinion. But anytime we resort to they language, criminalizing ethnicity, ignore generational gaps, meaning that, Booger McFarland's generation versus now is obviously there's a huge generational gap, and encourages business but not branding, will claim it's a child's game, it can't be taken seriously, really common. So I'm just going to go through. I'm not going to analyze everybody's comment. This gentleman, Scott Abram, which I don't know if Scott Abram is he's probably a person who does commentary. Looked like he worked for ABC. He said he quoted his tweet. He quoted his statement, Booger's statement, and then said, "I disagree with Booger. Why bring race into this? White players, athletes screw up too." I'm gonna get to y'all why this it just kills me. Just some lady said Booger McFarland's comments were completely asinine. If he had inserted young African-American players or if he hadn't inserted young African-American players, his comment may not have invited as much anger. Haskins' behavior is indicative of his youth and not his race. Booger going off on Haskins like white QBs have never done the same. Johnny Manziel, Ryan Leaf, and some of these other ones. So let's talk about this for a minute. People cannot get out of their emotions to hear facts. They can't. This has nothing to do with white players or whatever the case may be. He's talking about black players. He's talking about players who in large part do these things. When you make up 70% of the NFL, you are going to be 70% to a certain degree, or you're going to be more likely that you're going to be involved in these things. You talk about Ryan Leaf, you talk about somebody like Johnny Manziel, that pales in comparison. Pales in comparison to Jamarcus Russell. Pales in comparison. This dude was the #1 overall pick. Maybe Ryan Leaf could be sort of similar, but he was the #1 overall pick. Came into the league for the Oakland Raiders and just peed it away, for lack of better terms. And you look at Vince Young, the greatest quarterback in college football history, if you ask me. Better than Ryan Leaf ever could dream of. Better than Johnny Manziel could ever dream of. Better than any one of these quarterbacks could ever dream of. Played for the University of Texas. He should have won the Heisman Trophy both years. I don't think he did. He won the Rose Bowl against Michigan pretty much by himself and won the national championship against USC pretty much by himself. And got to the NFL and peed his career down his leg. Greatest quarterback to ever exist. This is why it bothers me, because you can never get anywhere if you can never tell the truth and be honest about these things. I see, and I'm not even playing in the NFL, and I haven't even been an analyst for 20 years, but I see these players, when I'm scrolling through Instagram, they got gold chains, they got gold teeth, they living for the moment. That's why you see 80+% of NFL players go bankrupt. When you have 70% of those players are black, that means that a majority of players in the NFL who are black are going bankrupt because of the things that Booger McFarland said, is that they're not taking it seriously. They want to be on Instagram. They want to show off, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm building a brand, I'm cool, I'm down with the people, I'm driving Ferraris now, I'm hanging out at the nightclubs. And then what happens to your financial stability? They go bankrupt. The average lifespan of an NFL player is, I don't know, I don't think it's 5 years anymore. 3 to 5 years? And then where do you go? All McFarland is saying is that you have an opportunity to take advantage of a career field that pays you crazy amounts of money for a period of time to just play a sport. most of these NFL players are never going to make this kind of money again with that much effort. 6 months of football or so, and they paying you tens of millions of dollars. And if you're a player that never started, over the course of 5 years, you're going to get paid over $1 million. These players should be maximizing their opportunities, but they're not. NFL players' bankruptcy rate should be 10% if they were doing what Booger McFarland said that they should be doing. Looking at this as a business. Look at it as an opportunity. You need to be focused on how this business strategy is conducted, meaning that the owner is going to make sure his team does what they need to do to win so he can have the fans who are happy, investors who are happy, or whatever the case may be, so he can get his pockets fatter and the franchise more prestigious than it was before whoever joined the team. If you understand that practice, then you will understand how am I as a player going to be more invested in this franchise so I can make the big man happy, so the big man can pay me more money while I have this short span of opportunity. And if I understand how advertisement works for the betterment of the team, not as an individual, the betterment of the team, the betterment of being a better player, being a player that's on a team that they cannot live without, meaning that your skill level, not your branding, your skill level. And I'm going to give you guys a quick example about this because an example of a person doing this, and it's kind of negative, but the guy is so good that they had to put Antonio Brown back in the NFL. Even though he's the trashiest player off the field that I've probably ever seen, his athletic ability is beyond. Michael Vick was the same way. If they listen to McFarland, Michael Vick and Antonio Brown will be like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. A legacy of $million seasons, franchise-type players. And I know that they're two quarterbacks. Franchise-type players that understand how this game works. They use it as a business. And they reap the benefits by playing 16 years or so. And there are black players that do this. There's a lot of black players in the NFL that do this. I think Ray Lewis did a tremendous job of that. He played forever. I mean, there's a lot of players. I mean, go down the list. You know why there's a lot of black players? Because most of the NFL is black. But anyway, I had to comment on that because people are getting their emotions just like they do in politics. They don't listen to nothing the man say. They can't receive what the teacher is teaching because they're too caught up in race relations. And I'm going to say this before I'm done. I should have said at the beginning of the video, but if you're still watching this video at this point, that means you love this channel and you finna get these nuggets of information. They are saying, why you go to race? Why I got to be about black? But then they adopt Black Lives Matter. Then they adopt this white privilege stuff that specifically focuses on black players. You don't want him to go to race about something that can improve the lifestyle and can improve the career measures of black players. You don't want him to talk about black Dan when it's critiquing in a positive way, meaning that if you listen, you'll do better. But it's okay to talk about black players when you talk about oppression and all this other stuff that's foolery that won't help nobody. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you guys like the video, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, comment in the comment section. Let me know if B. Tatum tripping about what Booger McFarland said, or is the man right on the money. I love you guys. Visit TatumReport.com. Also visit the Tatum store where you get all the cool merch. Y'all know what it is. See you on the next one. I'm out.